Damn, the CW is canceling a hell of a lot of shows. Now some of these shows I haven't watched, and some of them I've given a chance, and it just wasn't for me. But with that being said, I mean in total so far they got 5 shows. The 4400 or the 4400 that show got canceled. I think after the first season. Naomi got canceled after the first season. I didn't even get a chance to watch that show because I was so backed up with just trying to catch up to other shows that I just haven't been able to catch up to. That I didn't even get a chance to even watch that show. And I partly wanted to watch it just because it was in the Arrowverse, but even though I heard I heard a ton of bad things about the show. But yeah, that show got canceled too. Dynasty is a show I didn't watch, but that show got canceled after 5 seasons, and I'm just sitting there thinking, y'all couldn't be bothered to sit there and just give them a proper ending. I mean, hell, I feel bad for a lot of these shows that got canceled because even though that I didn't watch them, I know there was people that watched them, and you would sit there and think that at the very least, the CW would sit there and be like, hey, let's find a way to close out these shows, give the audience a proper send off to their favorite shows, and just kind of move on from there. Um, Charm got canceled. I'm gonna be honest. I watched the first episode of that, and after 16 minutes, I wanted to rip out my eyeballs. I could not stand that show. I, I just, I really couldn't stand it. And I feel like with that show, it was almost like they were just doing it for like just checking off boxes, every box that they can possibly check off. And don't get me wrong, if the show is good, I don't really care, like as far as representation and stuff like that went. But I feel like they cared more about that than the show actually being good. I mean, hell, they specifically. I don't remember one of the writers or producers or somebody was like they wrote in a sentence that you know, the world has given 3 white witches a chance or something like that. So now it's time, to introduce like representation, like diversity and yada 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 into it. And I've said this before: go woke, go broke. Now, don't get me wrong. If the show's good and it just happens to have an LGBT character or character of a certain race, I don't care. I just care that the show's good. But the show was literally not good. I mean, the first episode just completely pissed me off. So I didn't even bother to sit there, and I was like, this show isn't for me. Anyway, show got canceled. Roswell was a show that I think I gave it like 2 episodes, and I didn't find anything wrong with it. I mean, like, it wasn't sit there trying to do all this whole check off boxes or whatever. It just was a show that wasn't for me. Um, and so that show ended. It was all kind of crazy because when I watched the show, it was like watching damn near half of the cast from the Vampire Diaries and the originals because Julia was involved in the show, and so she then practically just damn near brought back most of the cast, or at least a good 30% of the cast. But that show got canceled. And of course, you know about Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman that got canceled. And here's the thing: there's rumors with Batwoman. Um, Basically, and this isn't, I don't know if this is true or not or whatever, but basically because they are doing Gotham Knights, that the network didn't want 2 Batman similar properties on at the same time. And if that's true, I'm just like, okay, so then why didn't you just not let Batwoman finish his run and then start on Gotham Knights? I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people that don't like Batwoman. Okay, fine, whatever. First season for me was trash. Second season was a lot better, and the third season was better after that. And I knew the fourth season was just going to go uphill from at that point. Um, but regardless, I mean, let's just sit there and say for argument that was the truth. Then you just skirt over a good majority of the fans to actually watch the show just to start on another show. It's like me eating some of my food and just be like, you know what, I don't want it. I'm just gonna get something else. I was gonna order something else anyway. That's literally how I felt about that. Legends, Legends was one of those shows that started off good, and then it just got stupid. Um, they changed a lot of stuff around. They changed the tone of the show, and when I felt like it changed the tone of the show, I felt like in a lot of ways it turned its back on its demographic audience. You know, it was more of a serious tone. Yeah, sometimes there were jokes and stuff like that, but it wasn't this silly, wacky, goofy crap that you start to see later on in the show. So that being canceled, I was just like, I felt bad for the people that actually liked the show, and again, they couldn't even be bothered to give it a proper send off. Now, I was sitting there reading something on online, and I'm gonna be honest. If this is true, this is the stupidest thing that I done heard so far. Even stupider than the show if you didn't like the show. So somebody was sitting there saying that, the CW was actually trying to save the show. The CW was trying to save the show. You wanna know how the CW was trying to save the show? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Booster Gold. Yeah. Yeah. That was supposed to be Legends Ace in the Hole. Booster Gold. Now, if you watch the show and you saw Booster Gold, for me, I was just like, bro, are you kidding me? When he said that he was Booster Gold, I was like, and I try not to get too upset. Okay, I try not to get too upset because it's the multiverse. Okay, it's the multiverse. So for every good version of something, there's going to be a really not the curse, a really crappy version, a really really crappy version of the good version. Okay, but that was supposed to be their ace in the hole, was to bring Booster Gold. Booster. First of all, if their plan to save the show was to introduce a new character, no matter what new characters they brought on the show, it was just stupid. Stupid. It was lazy. There's no character on Earth that will save the show. Hell, you couldn't even bring on Superman on that show and to save the show. Which makes me wonder. A while back they brought on Wally West. They put him on Legends. And I always felt like that was an odd choice. And at first I felt like they just didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know what to do with him in the Flash. They had a chance in the Flash to really, you know, really show what the character can do, what the actor can do when they have Flashpoint. Okay? That would have been really cool. Even if it was the first half, even if it was a 7 episodes, 7 or 8 episodes, it's like 22, 24 episodes, which is way too long. But they could have did the first half of the season with Wily West and Flash being stuck in the Speed Force. But because they were so worried that if they didn't have the Flash on, that the show was going to tank, the ratings were going to drop, and it's like they just didn't have faith in the character. So they just decided to have him come back. The new season, they decided to have him come back. This whole time, he was gone for, I think, like 6 months or whatever. And they made a big deal out of him leaving. They made a big deal out of him leaving. Like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And then the first episode, oh, we got a solution. But it makes me sit there and wonder, was that another plan to sit there and save the show? Was to bring Wally West on there? Because to be honest, it made no sense why they decided to put him in Legends. Just no sense whatsoever. Um, Now the shows that are, I was not reading the article. Well, let's put it this way: their fate has yet to be determined. Um, and that is Nancy Drew, Legacies, Kung Fu. I don't know if they renewed Walker yet, or All American, or All American Homecoming. But let's put it this way: I'm pretty sure that they renewed All American and their spin-off show as well. I'm just gonna take. I'm like 99% sure that they renewed those shows. I mean, we all know that Flash is renewed, Superman Lois is renewed. Oh, Stargirl is another show that is on. It's in that line of if they're gonna renew it or they're gonna cancel it. Now, the CW is also being sold off to another group, and from an article that I read, it made it seem like they were just cutting a lot of the scripted TV shows. I don't know the history or the history with whatever new network or whatever new media entity or whatever that's going to be taking over them. If this is a new company that is just, it's all about reality TV shows, then I mean, if that's the case, I feel like if these shows, and I'm really hoping for Legacies, if these shows get renewed, they should find a way to wrap it up the following season. Because, I mean, if you don't know, reality shows are a lot easier to produce and to make as opposed to a scripted television show. Um, I remember I was so pissed off I was when I had a cable box and I had MTV. And I think he only had two scripted shows left, I think, at the time. And one of them was Teen Wolf. And the other one, I can't remember. Oh, it was Teen Wolf, Scream, and some other fantasy show. I can't remember what it was, but it had like these elves, and um, it only lasted like one season before they put it onto another network and then it got canceled. But I don't think that MTV has one scripted show there, like, at all. Which is, it's sad, but it is what it is. Um, wow, this video ran way later than I wanted to do. Way later than I wanted to make it, but I kind of want to get a lot of that stuff, um, I guess off my chest or whatever, because I made another video and I wound up not doing it. Um, but then I was always sitting there on Instagram and everything like that. I was sitting there looking, I was like, oh, and three more shows got canceled. I'm like, what are y'all doing? But then I'm also just like, oh yeah, the network's getting sold off. But still, like, come on, bro. Like, anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.